Alright. Today's agenda is finishing up the lobby widget or menu. I believe I actually fixed that padding issue. Sort of. Oh, wait, I know why it's doing that. So what I found out yesterday was you don't set like padding directly on this horizontal box. What this actually does is it returns the actual box slot. I didn't notice this when I did it initially. It returns the box slot, and then you can use that to set the padding of whatever you just put in there. Now that I got that updated, this should actually work just fine. Oh, is it because... Yeah, I'm using this inside here. So what I'll probably do is just label this first. First box slot. Cool. Yeah, that all looks pretty good. Team assignment works and everything. I was thinking yesterday a better way to actually like visualize this stuff and like teams. So I think the route that I'm going to take is each one of these buttons is actually going to be like an individual like widget itself that has like the not team name, but like the name of the player that joined and the color of the team that they're assigned to, along with like the team ID right next to it. So we're going to create some custom widgets to house all that data for us and integrate it to what we have so far. Right now that's more so like a quality of life thing, because we already have the functionality made for it, but I think it's going to look nice. So I'm just going to do it right now. So we go in here. Just going to make a new user widget. we have team selection button. I mean, I could just name this team selection widget. I'm just trying to think of a better naming convention for this, but this probably makes sense. Yeah, we'll just keep it for now. I also updated my Visual Studio. So far so good. All the new features look pretty nice. I haven't really used them all yet though. Uh-oh, first crash of the day? Okay, now we're good. That was really weird. Alright, so making custom widgets here. We kind of have to like plan around like how we want this to look. So I think the best way to do this is we'll prototype it real quick and then just create all the bindings in C++. So if we go to here, make a team selection widget. I don't know if this is the correct way to do this, but I usually put like a scale and then a size box. So for something like this, we'd probably want like a 4:1 ratio. So for the width, we could probably do something like, just temporarily, like a 200 by 50. Maybe 5:1. Because we do want like player name and everything in there, and team ID, along with like a color. And we also need the button as well. So I'll probably use an image. Actually, canvas panel first. Then we'll go image. This is going to be our background here. I don't think I want to use a rich text block for this. Later on, if I really need to, I'll just change it. So this is going to be what our team ID is. So we'll just name this team ID text like that. team ID. I think I'm gonna have this on the right here in the middle. So if that's the case, we'll center it like that. Scale this down to like a 14. Since this is prototyping, like, I really want to make this, like, look better, but I'm going to stop myself from going too crazy with it, because I just need to know what variables I need to make so I can bind them in C++. Background's going to get changed because each team ID is going to have a different color. This variable is also getting changed, because this is going to be the team ID itself. And then we could probably have player name in here. We'll just keep that. Just keep it simple. Let's see here. Really good design for like text is typically you don't want to make stuff like pitch black like this. Just like very off, or like slightly off, I mean. I'm gonna save that color. This down to a 14, anchor this to this side here. Whoa. I'll keep that zeroed in. Negative 0.5. Why is my guy not centered? Oh, position wise, negative 20. There we go. The length of this guy is probably going to be 150. That looks fine for now. Yeah, this is nothing too crazy. I mean, like, when we get, like, stats and stuff, like MMR or, like, rating, we'll also put that in here. But I'm not going to worry about that now until that system is actually built. Okay. Finally, what we need is an overlay and then the button. So what we're doing here is we're going to cover the whole thing with this overlay. And then we're just going to make the button pretty much invisible. But what this will do is when people click on this, it will be filled with like their player data So when they assign themselves to a team, it'll put their player name and everything there. The only thing that won't change is the number on here. So that's going to be set beforehand. Okay, that looks good. Alright. What I'm going to do here is just grab this macro. Whoops. And start making pointers to everything I need. I think I need 2 text blocks here. I also just need to grab the names of them too. We need player name. I think I need that team selection background for the image. I'm just gonna copy and paste that in. Alright, so we now bound, or we have the binding for each thing in C++. Next thing we need to do is actually create the setter functions. So this is going to be how we actually assign all this stuff in C++. I try to keep everything pretty much straightforward with how this works. I don't think we could do a reference because I think we're going to be making a temporary or a local variable, not a member. So we'll just take a const of text in team ID. Or another way to do this is actually, we could probably just take in an integer and just convert it to ftext, which is also fine. Now the button, I don't think we actually need to set. So what we need to do is, in creating this widget, we not only need to set like the number here, right? We need to make sure that when people click this button, that it actually gives them this team ID as well. So what I'm thinking is when we set the actual like text for this team ID, we can set the ID on the button as well. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the function here just to keep everything separated and organized. Now it doesn't look like IntelliSense is actually caught up, so I can't just use like the really simple way of doing this. So I'm just gonna have to type this stuff in by hand. What I'm gonna do is just copy and paste this a couple times. And I'll just swap it out with this. The one time I update VS Code is the time IntelliSense just does not work at all. Alright, so this part is pretty much straightforward. Got to get our includes in. Majority of the widget stuff can actually just be found in the components for include. So I think we have 2 text blocks and a U image. So I think this is just components image.h. And then for our custom button that we made, that's actually in widgets, and I think it is in selection button.h. It's a text block. It's not. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did put text block. Okay. So this is something where we just have to do set text. And the way we can actually convert this to text is if we create just an f text here. We'll just call it number. We do f text from string, and then we do f string from int in team ID. I'm just making sure the parentheses line up. And we can put number there. For our button, I believe I made a function in this already. There it is. what we can do here is create an initializer function and just pass in all this data at once so everything gets set. We'll set this guy right at the top. Yeah, okay, it's already converted in player name. Part of me wants to just take in like an F string, like a const reference to an F string, and then we just convert it to F text in this function here. I think that's a better way to do it because the player's name is going to be stored as a member variable on the players themselves, so we're allowed to do that. But if it's a const F string, I'm trying to remember if we can actually convert this. I think we can convert it if it's a const variable, but I don't know if set text allows us to pass in a const variable. We're just gonna try it. Oh man, if only IntelliSense actually worked right now. I just want to see what the slate brush actually takes in as parameters here. I might have to refresh my Visual Studio. I thought it was set brush where I set the color. Or at least I thought set brush actually took in a linear color as a parameter. I'm just looking at the documentation real quick. Okay, takes in an F slate brush. Oh, is it set brush tint color, right? Yeah, okay, got it. We'll just change the tint. Right. So just future pacing here a little bit. What we're gonna have to create now is the new widget we just made. So instead of making a U-team selection button, we're gonna have to make a U-team selection widget. And we're actually going to pass in a T subclass reference or pointer instead of using a static class, because we have some stuff set up in blueprints that we have to use. And I think the way we do, I don't think we use widget tree for this part, actually. Maybe we do. Alright. So we need to pass in the ID, the player name, and then the background color that we want to assign for this. So for player name, I think I'm actually just going to temporarily hard code something in here since I don't have the naming system actually made. Oh, but it's a reference. Temporarily going to take this off of a reference. Then the background color. That is also something I have to so for our delegate or event, I have to make the button accessible here. Honestly, might as well just forward declare this at this point. Okay. So we're basically just going to take this and call in again, I don't know why I have a list here for this. I actually don't remember putting this comment, but yeah. Okay, so I think it's going to be as easy as... Oh no, I don't think we have to change anything else. Right here is where we're making all the buttons. Which this itself could be... This itself here could just be a function that returns a uteam selection widget. But I'll just refactor that later on. Okay, so yeah, we're making all the buttons for the lobby now. We're adding them in. That all looks pretty good. So what we're going to look for is if our IDs and everything are getting updated as the buttons are getting created. And here I do have to set the T subclass of here to our blueprint. So do our lobby map and start it up and see. And we got a crash. Why is that? Lobby widget number 39. thing to check for here is to make sure yeah, okay, it's all working. It's assigning the correct team names or IDs. What we'll probably do change that to empty. Just thinking about like team color. How can I actually change this up? I mean, I could make like a list of colors in an array. That's like pretty much just hard coding colors. I could definitely like make like a function that just randomizes the color and sets it on like a member variable and then uses that until the randomizer is called again. Just to mix up team color. It's probably the best way to do that. Now, how to dictate how this is going to be randomized, or like what weight should we add to it? I mean, I could just pass in the current team that it's randomizing for. Or I can just make it totally random. I'll just make something really stupid right now. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, just for randomized team color, I'm just going to use rand range, which will just like pretty much randomize anything between two values that I give it and return it. So I think I'm just going to rand range the RGB for now, and that will decide team color until I can think of a more permanent solution for this. So let's just randomize it between 0 and 1. So every time a new team is created, I'll just randomize the team color. So in the very beginning of the function, I'm also going to do this here, because we're starting at the first team. And at some point, I'm definitely going to separate all this into its own function to kind of declutter this a little bit. But as of right now, this looks pretty good. So let's add team color to here. Let's see if this works. The color should be absolutely crazy. Yeah, there we go. Oh, uh-oh, that's a problem. Okay, so it's randomizing the color per client, so that's not good. I mean, I could really fuck with people by doing it this way. Because if you're like, you know, pink team like sucks ass, pink team could totally just be like a completely different team on one person's game than the other. And I don't think color like matters that much. Am I that evil? Surely not. Nah, I'll find a better way to do this. I mean, what it's going to come down to is team color is just going to have to be something that's more than likely replicated. Or, I mean, again, I can just store an array of team colors. On this widget itself. Yeah, I think I'm just going to store an array. It's probably easier to do it that way anyways. The one problem is this can get dangerous if there's like a lot of teams. So if I'm going to do it this way, I pretty much just have to make 20 different colors. Something crazy. Oh no, not this IntelliSense glitch. Oh, I thought I got rid of that. I am very much regretting updating Visual Studio at this point. Okay. So we have like the initial team selection widget done. When they click that button though, not only should it assign the team ID to the player state, but it should populate the button with the player's name itself. That would have to be... That would probably have to be a an RPC call to update the UI of every other person in the lobby as well. Yeah, that would have to be... That definitely would have to be a multicast update. Okay. What I'll do first is I'll make the RPCs. Oh my gosh. That is so annoying. I don't think these need to be public. I think the button itself should probably just have... Should have this RPC. When you click it, it will... currently what's happening is when you click on it, it will trigger this delegate here to execute. And then I believe we have the lobby widget here bound to it. Button click to assign team. And then this is where we can submit that information. We already have something here that says server assigned team. So we could probably submit the team ID and the player name in one RPC together. But the problem is okay, so that is probably why I made this this team selection button list, which I'm actually going to change to store widgets instead. I'm also gonna have this store is the index that this is going to be stored in currently. So I can just go into this list and pull it out to change any variables on it. might get rid of this later, so I'm gonna put this marker down for it. Multi. This is a stateful event, so multicasting this probably isn't a good idea. since it's stateful, one of the things that we should take into account is if someone joins after teams are assigned, they're not going to see the update since it was multicast. So I think multicasting is just out of the picture. What we need to do is update the variable on the server and then have an on-rep function update everyone else's HUDs. I believe is the way to, or the best way to do this. Actually, what we're probably gonna have to do is replication with widgets. Now what I'm going to do is probably just get the player state's name and use that. That's exactly what I saw. I'm just thinking about where to store this data and then pulling it off, because this needs to be something that's replicated to all other clients. is I don't think a multicast is actually going to work with this. And I hesitate to do this. It's worth a try. But I'm pretty sure it does not work this way. Try this again. So I guess I'm gonna have to get a pointer for the lobby widget onto the player state or the player controller. Probably the player controller. And then in the player controller, I can do all these updates. For the UI. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, player controller, okay. That's not what we want. A new player should be cast. Player controller object reference. Player that owns the widget. Let's break these links then. Ugh. Player index 0. No, there's gotta be a better way to get it. Yeah, that's not what I want. This works. Create a variable on the player controller so I can store that. While this is compiling, I'm gonna fill my water back up. Be right back in probably about like 2 minutes. Hmm. happens here. There's definitely another way to do this. I'm pretty much just gonna have to replicate the list of players in the lobby then. And then every single time one is changed, I'll just have it repopulate the list. I'm gonna have to scrap pretty much all of this here. Or there could be another reason why. Let's see if this is even getting set correctly. Server-side UI stuff. I think the way this has to be done is I have to go over every player state in the lobby and have them update their own individual lobby widgets. So if that's the case, I believe lobby game mode has access to everybody. It was called player array. Or is it game state that actually has access to it? Just as a test. Yeah, it's There it is, okay. So in the game state itself, we're going to have to tell all the players to update their lobby widgets, so it shows when players select a team or get assigned to a team. Alrighty, it's a direction to go in. So with that being said, I'm just going to make a function on the game state to do that then. Actually, is player array saved as just, yeah, okay, default player state. So then we're going to cast it into the actual player state here. I'm thinking of just making a dedicated function on player state itself to update the lobby widget. I think that's probably the way to go. The only data that we would need to pass into this is the index and then the name that's going to go there. I'm also going to have to change this function too. Yeah, the way we're going to do this is through fstring now. So that means what we need to pass into this is the index and the player name. So I'll just grab that from this right here. This can also be const, since we're not going to be changing it. Ugh, most annoying bug in Visual Studio. Okay. Now this is going to get called from the server. So we need to get access to the game state here. And I think I already have a way to do that here. Move this somewhere else. Cast the game state to game state we have here. A lot of this stuff is actually going to get refactored later on, but right now I'm just testing some stuff out. Okay, we have access to the game state here. This is where we submit this to get updated. That bug. Whenever you go to like save or do save all in Visual Studio, I thought they fixed it, but I guess not. It will like just open up that window acting like this is a brand new file. Super frustrating. What I might end up doing is just moving this all over to the player state entirely. And I might just make a function on there to like handle it all, is my immediate thought. I think it makes more sense that way. Yeah, so I can probably just do this. Do that, and then get rid of this here, since we don't need that anymore. Get game states. We could just call it get world. We also want to know if this is actually null or not. These are reverse order. So this gets called, goes through every player in the game. Every player in the game then gets this function called to update their lobby widget with this new information. This multicast is going to be axed as well. Time being, though, I'm just gonna comment it out. Yeah, so the whole goal is just to have the lobby get populated when you like click on to which team the player wants to join. We just want like everybody in the lobby to have an updated name, and for the slot to be taken as well, so we can't just like override each other. But replication with like user interface stuff can be a little tricky, and you kind of have to think outside the box. Because like you got to think of if players join after like slots have been already taken, how do you populate that data? Alright. So the game state is valid. Oh, it actually just didn't update the... Something in the chain is not working. Now which thing is not? That is working. So multicasting is probably a bad option for this, because again, if someone joins, a multicast is just like a temporary thing. It's not like a state. So if I click this, and this variable here updates on everybody's screen, if somebody joins after I do that like multicast, it's not actually gonna show for the other person. So realistically, the only way to like really hold that data and make sure it's like updated is to just make sure that it's a replicated variable. So now begs the question on, do we replicate? I really don't want to replicate a t-array of numbers, because that's like a lot of data to just like share. I think a better way of doing it is, we know that each player state is only going to take up one slot on the widget itself. So I could replicate which slot it's taking up, and then we can just update it that way. Alright, so going in with this new method, I actually just thought of something else too. We're actually not properly setting this lobby widget. It's actually only getting set when we click on a button, which is really bad. I actually forgot about that entirely. I believe there is something we can use here. What we want to look for is when the player is set, or when this thing is like added to the viewport, then we want to try and get this lobby widget set in the player state. I can scroll through this all day. Let's just look for some delegates. That's just for animations. Hey, what's up? Yeah, basically just trying to get this multiplayer lobby thing working. Honestly, I might actually have to make a custom struct to hold this data. Wait a minute. I just updated. Okay. I mean, it updated to the server. The clients themselves didn't see it, but this is like a step in the right direction. And it gives me hope that we can get this done and over with really soon. So I might not have to go down that route that I was just talking about, if this is working like this. There's some data that just needs to be replicated. But for now, I'm actually going to get rid of this. And I'm going to see how I can get that data from the game state replicated over. I'll probably put it here actually. It's probably the best way to do it. With that being said, I'm gonna fill my water up again. Be right back in like 2 minutes. I also need to stretch. I've just been staring at the screen for hours at this point. actually want to read the logs real quick just to see how this is actually functioning. Server assigned team called. Okay. Clear the logs and just do this one more time. I just want to see the ordering of some of this stuff. Okay. Oh, I think it's because you can't RPT to the game state. Yeah, I don't think you can. Probably have to do some more research on the best way to actually develop this UI further at this point. It just seems that, I mean, the server is able to receive the update and spread the information just fine. So the next time that I come back on, I should have this pretty much working, or at a point where we can finish it and then be done. But we have it populating with data. It's just player assignment is the next big thing, and then we can get into game mode creation. So I think for now I'm probably going to sign off, at least for like an hour, and then I'll probably be back on a little bit later today, and we'll get it wrapped up. Alrighty. that being said, I'm gonna end for now. But yeah, hopefully I'm back in a couple hours.